Hey, it's me again. I know I'm not quite the coolest person you've ever met, but soon to be. I wanted to bring you another beautiful, beautiful hunt of a beautiful Pokemon. We're back looking for Gen 2 Swarm encounters. This time it's going to take us to a big, spooky cave in Route 40 something outside of Violet City. It's Dark Cave, big, spooky, dark cave. Looking for Dunsparce, number two of our hunts for all of the shiny swarming Pokemon. I can't wait to share this with you. It's truly a doozy. If last time looking for Yanma was a cathartic highlight of my career, this might just be the butt opposite from nose to toes, as they would put it. This could be maybe the best time I've ever had at work, and I'm thinking you might also agree. Like all proper hunts, this one began by starting on something completely different. I was looking for a shiny Meryl. I've been looking for a shiny Meryl since 2020, and as this would stand, I've phased on it twice. I've returned to it and come back to it numerous times, and it just wasn't really going my way. Not to mention that trying to do 4 hunts and one of them requiring extensive menuing in the form of sweet scent encounters, which requires at least 2 more button inputs than my brain could handle, while the others were just mashing A and moving back and forth on a joystick. I realized that unless I wanted to have total brain failure, I needed to put this hunt aside and do some more hunts that were easier on the brain and the mind and the physical activity. I'd never played piano, and I couldn't really do the whole like rub your stomach and pat your head thing, so the less inputting, the better. I needed to utilize 1% of the 10% that I've already wasted away playing this game. I needed to get rid of Meryl and go to Dunsparce. I should preface this by saying that my capture card kind of blew up on me in the middle of hunting, which is why you might see some better quality video versus a literal phone filming a DS. The reason for this is because my capture between the Yanma footage and partially the Meryl footage just kind of broke. Here's the last kind of ditch effort I had to get the capture card working. I'm looking at it right now. You want to see it? It's nuts. It's so stupid. There's so I already showed you kind of, but like it's there, it's there, it's over there, it's there. There's just there's 4 screens that have the same game. I decided to pack in my Meryl hunting, but carry over all of the encounters I had over the last few years so that I could still kind of keep those Gen 2 numbers accurate, but just kind of consider this to be a phase. So while it may seem like I jumped up thousands of encounters overnight, remember part of this was also done off stream, as well as me incorporating encounters that I had done at other times, and was just adding it to the collective hunt. In other words, this Dunsparce is essentially just a phase for Meryl. Because this hunt was in a cave, it was far more effective to only hunt during the Pokemon March on the radio. Sometimes I did this, most of the time I did not, and just complained about the encounters I wasn't getting. But other than that, it really was a standard move around the map kind of hunt, which is just what my brain needed after fumbling through 2 inputs on a sweet scent hunt. And I treated this much like my Yanma hunt, where it would be hunt until the day reset, go back to collect all the apricorns and the berries, talk to my mother, get the phone call from hiker Anthony, and return to Dark Cave, hoping for my next mass outbreak shiny in Gen 2. I mentioned before I was doing a bunch of other hunts while also looking for Dunsparce. I wanted just to take a minute to check in and see how those are going for me. He puts into like moving around the house. Like, you know, I mean, like cats never just like go anywhere without like always being like on the prowl. It's like that's just like so much energy to just be constantly like hyper focused on something. Oh fuck! I have to feed him. Oh my god! It's 9:30. Oh shit! I gotta give Morpheus dinner. Oh, oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh, oh. Go, Morpheus. You're starving, Morpheus. So this is definitely a huge step for me. I got hot hand theory. It's flowing through every fiber vein of my personal self. I finished up a big hunt, took me about a year to do, and going into this, I just can't see how anything can get worse. I just had a 68 phase in Gen 2, and I'm feeling myself right now. I can't be stopped. I can't possibly mess this up. There's a bit of an irony in the way that I hunt. I think most hunters may find it to be true as well, where we're so desperate to find what we're looking for, but are also willing to face such ridiculous odds that we're not opposed to just sitting for 8 to 10 hours at a time doing encounters, hoping that something will eventually come to us. What this really means is that any free time we have, whether it's on the toilet or with our families, or maybe experiencing our last few moments with a friend who's moving really far away and you'll never see them again, we're going to be pulling out some kind of Game Boy from God knows where we had it to do some 1 to 10 maybe bonus encounters that we otherwise would not have been able to. Shiny hunters hate a vacuum, essentially. So naturally, when everything kind of went virtual in 2020 and on for meetings and work days, this really just meant to me, or a hypothetical person in case my boss is watching this, 2 to 3 hours a day of me being able to sit on meetings and do some raw encounters. What this also means for me is that somebody who likes to record a lot of their footage so that they can share it with their friends and other people, I'm always at risk of potentially getting something off camera. If you remember the Yanma video, you would know that I did find a Pidgey off camera and had to kind of add that in post hoc. And while it's always fun to finally get something after a long time of getting nothing, it's kind of tough when you're the only person in the room to experience what you have instead of all your friends around you, as well as being in the middle of a meeting and realizing that you cannot react at all to what just happened at the risk of your entire office hearing. What I am essentially trying to say is that what you're about to watch could very well be the most boring and unfortunate shiny encounters and reactions yet to be put to a video on the internet. So it was right about here that I remembered to move my phone from portrait to landscape mode so I didn't look like a total idiot after already having to film live at work. My reaction was silent. I was dead. I couldn't say a word. I was in the middle of a meeting. Someone was talking about a big project we had to do, and here I was staring face to face with a shiny Dunsparce that I got in under odds first phase. There's no real risk in a Dunsparce. It won't run away as long as you don't attack it. It won't really die. It's level 2 to 3 or 4 max. It has shoddy catch rate, but ultimately I had enough Kurt Pokemon balls to not have to worry too much. If it popped out of some, I would have a bunch more to go. The worst part was knowing that it takes about a week to get 7 of those, and it busted out of at least 4. But that's the cost of fighting Big Pharma. Sometimes you gotta do something that requires a lot of work. I threw it out into battle a few times. You can see it here, just kind of doping around as like a dopey little dope. I named this Dunsparce Elderberry. I have kind of a plant theme that I go with, naming all of my shinies in this game. And then I cycle through the Yanma and the Dunsparce that I have both in my PC. You can see here Honeycomb, it's real, I swear it's a real Pokemon. And Dunsparce, back to back, my new favorites. So that's it. That's the hunt again. Here we are, in my squeaky chair, in my weird living situation. Here's my ladder in case you wanted to know more about me. I can't wait to tell you all about the future stuff I have, but there probably won't be any because I don't want to have to pay for high-tech equipment or anything. After all, I spent it all on Pokemon games that have been out of print for 25 years and they now cost $4,000 and a pint of blood. So I'm happy to have this. If I was to die tomorrow and somewhere down the line somebody found this video, I think they would be very happy with what I've accomplished, and I would not mind if this was the mark I left on the world. Bye everyone.